Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kennedy, and for today's video I'm going to be doing, oh my gosh, I always talk too fast and then the words get jumbled, but today I'm going to be doing my May TBR. Is it already almost halfway through May? Yes, and I'm still going to be filming this ridiculously long May TBR, but I want to give myself some options. I'm very excited about all of the books that I'm planning on reading. Some of these will look familiar if you watched my book haul because I am trying to read a lot of the books that I own already. But yeah, we're going to do this kind of by genre. So I think I will begin with the horror because that is a smaller section, and then I will get into like fantasy books and possibly some romances because I'm just gonna kind of create this TBR as I go. Will I regret that? Probably, but we're gonna do it anyway. Alright, so starting out with some horror just because it is summer, and for some reason I associate horror with summer, probably because fall is like next, and I know technically summer doesn't start until like June, but in my head it's summer because I'm on summer break now since May 2nd, which is crazy to me. This is my first time having a summer break for college, and it's like usually I'm in school until like mid-June, so this is really weird that I'm done like the first week of May. Anyway, let's get into the books. The first book I have is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I don't really know what this is about, and I don't really want to know what this is about because it's super short. It's like a little horror novella. I'm really interested in this. I love the cover. I just think it's like one of the most beautiful covers to exist. And I've just heard that T. Kingfisher can really write, and I just found a $20 bill in this book. That was very weird. Anyway, yeah, don't know what this is about, but I'm hoping to maybe do like a 24-hour readathon where I can read this and the next book. That next book is Tomi by Junji Ito, which is a horror manga. It's quite chunky, but again, it's a manga, so I could probably still read it in one sitting or one or two sittings. I absolutely love Junji Ito's horror manga. It's all so good. Every every volume of his that I've ever read has just been so well put together. His art style is amazing. His concepts are really cool. And I've heard that this one is one of his best works. And I see the most like merch for this book, so I'm really excited. I've been wanting to read this since I like literally heard about Junji Ito, but I haven't gotten around to it. I think I'm scared it's gonna like let me down because this book was not cheap. And I have loved everything else by him, so the expectations are quite high. And then the last horror book, I think this is a horror. It's either horror or thriller, but I'm pretty sure it's horror. And that is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. This is my beautiful signed edition that I showed off in my book haul. This is Grady Hendrix's newest release. It just came out, I think, in January. It just came out recently. I don't know exactly when it came out, but I am so excited to read this. I've heard that it's really good, and it's up like at the same tier as like Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, which one of my favorite horror books. So really excited to read this, and I feel like it'll be a good summer read, even though I know it's horror, so it'll probably be good for the fall. I want to read this in the summer. Then I have two sci-fi books. The first one is like a sci-fi thriller type book, and that is The Passengers by John Marrs. I've only seen one person like ever talk about this book, but I got this book for like $5 at Walmart one time, and so I want to read it, obviously. This is about like this car, like you're riding in your self-driving car when suddenly the doors lock, the route changes, and you have lost all control, and a mysterious voice tells you you're going to die. And that just sounds terrifying. This kind of reminds me of like a Nerve for some reason, even though I know it's very different in concept. I think it's just the thriller but like sci-fi element that is making me think of the movie Nerve. And then I have Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. This is the first book in the Expanse series, which is a very long sci-fi series. I honestly don't think I'll finish this book this month, but I do hope to at least start it and possibly just like slowly make my way through. I've heard that this is a very fast-paced book and series, and that it's a good one to help you like get out of a slump just because of the, again, quick pace of it all. And yeah, I don't know, I'm very excited to read this. It's been on my TBR for a long time, and I feel like it would just be a good fast summer read, even though it's really long. Again, I've heard it's a quick read. So from there, we're going to transition into some fantasy books. So the first fantasy book that I have is the Trader Baru Cormorant. Oh my gosh, literally every time I try and say that, I mess it up. This is the first book in the Masquerade series, which is a hyper-political fantasy series. I believe that it follows the main character trying to like infiltrate this group called the Masquerade. I'm not entirely sure, I've just heard it's really good. And I want to read this because I got it this year, and I'm trying to read the books that I bought this year. And yeah, technically my partner bought this one for me, so I want to read it and be able to talk to him about it. Okay, this next one is really chunky, so again, don't think that this will actually happen, but I'm gonna put it on my TBR anyways. And that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is an epic fantasy, I believe, about this place that has dragons, but I think the dragons are like bad. I don't know. I've heard this is really good. I did start it at one point, but I don't remember anything that I read. So I'm gonna restart this and hopefully get fully immersed into this world, and then get to read the prequel book, which looks very good as well. Yeah. Okay, and then I have two fantasy books that I've actually, or three books that I've started and never finished. The first one is Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. This is like my current read, and it's so good. I can't wait to talk about this in my wrap up, but it's such a such a fascinating book, and I can't wait to finish it. It's very good. I like all the characters. Again, I'll talk more about what it's about in my wrap up. I have a lot of books I want to get through, so I just wanted to quickly mention that I am in the middle of that one. And then I am also in the middle of The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I'm listening to this one on audiobook and really liking it. It's very dark, but I like that it has so many difficult topics in it, because that provides a very well-rounded story in my opinion. This talks a lot about race and kind of social class in general, and I think that it's amazing. And then the last fantasy book that I started but never finished was 10,000 Stitches by Olivia Atwater. I honestly am not too stressed about this one. I think that I could easily finish it. It's a very fast writing style that this author has, and I'm already about a third of the way through. I don't think you can see that, but yeah, very interesting, fae-centered romance fantasy. And I'm very excited to get back into this world. I just didn't get to finish this because of school and finals. Okay, I think that the last fantasy book that I'm gonna put on this is Empire of Exiles by Aaron M. Evans. This is another book that my partner got for me. He got this for our anniversary, and I want to try and read it as soon as possible because I know he's really, he was really excited to get it for me since it was very highly anticipated. And yeah, so I want to try and read this as soon as possible. I don't think it'll take me too long. It's only about 350 pages, which for an adult fantasy is honestly not too bad. So I'm very excited to read this. I think it has like a mystery element, like a murder mystery, which fantasy and murder mystery, two of my favorite things. So very excited for this. And then the next book is another book that I started and didn't finish, but this is a romance book, and that is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This is a book about a main character who's a ghostwriter for this lady, and she gets a new editor, and this editor is like he's kind of a grumpy guy, but he's really attractive. And then this guy dies the very first night that she meets him, and then he starts to just like his ghost appears, and so our main character is like, okay, you have unfinished business here, and I'm gonna try and help you find out what that unfinished business is. So yeah, it's very fun, but also like serious at the same time because there is a lot of talk of death. So I would say that that is a trigger warning for this book because it talks about her father passing away, and then obviously the main male character passing away, which I'm really interested to see how that's going to play out. I do already have a theory, but we'll see if I'm correct about that. Okay, I think those are all the books I'm going to put on my official TBR. I will probably stray from this list because I always stray from my TBRs, but these are the books that right now are calling to me the most, and I'm really, really just excited to read them. And I know it's a lot of pages for the month, but I honestly think that it's possible. Is it likely? No, but I'm gonna try my best. And yeah, I hope you all have a lovely day or night wherever you live, and yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!